Hello, today is Saturday, March 16th, and it's time to go over our weekly highlights for the Weight Watchers, WW, Freestyle, whatever you want to call it, Wellness That Works. I just like to think it's a weight loss program, and I think once they go back to saying it's a weight loss program, they'll have more people, and I think if they make their prices a little bit more competitive, they'll have a lot more people, because a lot of people are going to iTrax, which is basically the Weight Watchers program, and it's way cheaper, so we'll see. I think now that they're lined up with Kohl's, because Kohl's has starting to sell their products, and then they're going to have some salons in their stores that maybe they'll make more money on their gizmos, and they can lower the prices of the meetings, but who's to know. But today is the perfect meeting for me because it's plan your meals. But we'll start off with the sad news. I did have a gain. I had a gain of 0.9. I looked back at my tracker, and I had 5 blue dot days. No, I had 5 blue dot days. And I walked 2 miles every day, just about 2 miles, total 2 miles every day at least. And I still had a gain of 0.9, so now I'm 236.3. And as you can see by my stickers, is okay, never quit. I'm not quitting. I'm just not quitting. I know I'm not. The 0.9 gain, I'll be honest with you, it bummed me out. It really did bum me out. Your weight fluctuates daily for various reasons. And last week I lost, look at 2.9 last week. And I really didn't think I deserved 2.9. I really thought it was around 2 pounds. I really, in my heart of hearts, knew that I really should have only lost about 2 pounds last week. So the 0.9 came back and said, okay, I'll take it back and put it back on my body. Not what I wanted. That's not the thought I wanted to have, but it's the thought that came out of it. But I do think that some of the reasons I think that I gained the 0.9 was, first of all, I think that when you start exercising and using muscles that you haven't used in a long time, the muscles have to do a little bit of repair, so they kind of hold sodium and they kind of hold the water in a little bit, and to strengthen the muscles a little bit more. So I'm not going to get discouraged by that. You can weigh yourself at different times of the day, and you can weigh different amounts. I'm blaming this on the time change now, because it's an hour later than what I normally would have weighed last Saturday, because with the springing forward, when I weighed in, it was really 7:40. No, it was really, how did that work? I weighed in at 8:45. And it really was 7:45. And I do think, you know what, my mind, like your mind is a powerful tool, and you can let your mind think whatever you want to think. So I'm blaming it on the fact that we sprung ahead an hour. That's my thought. But I have to leave for 1 minute, but don't go anywhere, because my one minute being gone will seem like a flash in the pan to you. See, I told you it'd be quick for you. It was longer for me, but it was quick for you. See my sweater, how big it is? It's too big. It's too big. Even though I had a 0.9 gain, my sweater's too big. Look how, it's way too big. I can't get rid of it though, but I will. I'm getting rid of, I have so many big clothes to get rid of, so I'm kind of looking forward to next winter buying all my smaller clothes, because my closet's going to look pretty empty in the winter. When I'm rearranging my winter and summer stuff, the winter stuff I know is going to be too big next year, so I'm getting rid of it. And the thing is, some of it is pretty new. A lot of my stuff is pretty old, and it won't go to Goodwill. It'll just go in the trash. But some of it's just pretty nice. Kind of miss it. This is one of my favorite sweaters, too. Okay, anyway, enough of that. The thing is about planning your meals. Deciding what to eat ahead of time can be a big help on your WW journey. If you prep your meals ahead of time, it's even better, because then you know it's right there and it's ready for you to go. This approach will minimize your, geez, I wish I wouldn't have eaten that. How many of us have done that? Because I know I've done that a lot. It also keeps you from making split-end decisions that really aren't in the right choice that you could have made. And it's really easy to choose a lot of good meals around 0 points and start off with the 0 point and then work around that. Like your chicken and your eggs and things like that, and then just build up from there. And no matter how much time you have to plan and prep, a few tactics will help you to to decide what to eat and what to eat deliciously. And there's some strategies that you should use, and it always tells you to start small. Plan just one meal for one night or one meal for one day. Batch prep a sample of something that you like. What I like to do is I'll ground up a couple pounds. Like I like ground sirloin. I'm not a big fan of ground turkey, but when ground sirloin's on sale, I'll buy like a couple, 2, 3, 4 pounds of it, and I will get the taco seasoning mix. I like the Taco Bell seasoning mix. I also like the I can't think of the name of it, the yellow package. You know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, I like the taco seasonings for that. Or Ortega, that's it, Ortega. And what I do is I brown up my ground beef. I drain all the grease off of it, and then I put the taco seasoning in, mix it all up, and then I weigh them out into little individual snack size bags of 3-ounce sizes, and then I put them in the freezer. I label the date on it because I don't keep it longer than 6 months. I think I can keep it a year, but I don't keep it longer than 6 months. And then I put them in the freezer, and if you put them in the baggies and you lay them and you smash them down and make them flat, then you can stack them. You can get more in the freezer that way. And another thing which I do is when I make my chili and my soup, I put it in Ziploc baggies and then make it flat. Give it a little bit of air, like a little bit of room for when it freezes. And then you can get more than if you put the containers in the freezer. And I just, so then when I want to have let's say I want to have a taco, I can grab the meat out of the freezer and you can put it right into the microwave and it'll thaw and cook at the same time, like within 2-3 minutes. I always like doing that. So, do little preps like that. Then they're kind of pushing their blue apron. I think Carrie over at Weight Watchers with Carrie has tried this and she liked it. But at the end I'm going to scan this this cover and you can look at it. You can go to WWX Blue Apron or www.com for info. Or you can pick up a pre-prepped meal at the supermarkets, and you can go on hashtag meal planning or join a meal prep group on the Connect. And there's all kinds of things. So I'm going to put this at the end along with the menu, or the recipe rather, for the salmon, which I'm not going to try. My mother made the worst salmon patties. Being Catholic, we ate tuna and salmon all through Lent. Well, always, because you couldn't eat meat on Fridays ever. And I still don't eat meat on Fridays, but I don't eat salmon. Bad memories. I just can't stir those memories away. That's why I don't like mixed vegetables, because we had a babysitter that used to put, if you didn't finish your corn one day, the next day when she made green beans, she'd add that. And if you didn't eat that, she'd have the corn, the green beans, and the peas. And it was just nasty by the end of the weekend. So I don't eat mixed vegetables. I'll eat all the vegetables, but if you put them all together, no, I won't eat it. So anyway, you want to do is take the word meal, M-E-A-L, and M, right, make it count. E, eat what you love, within reason. A, available foods, and L is for leftovers. I like to, with my leftover, well, we should start with M, make it count. When you want to make it count, pick something that you're going to really like, and if it's high in points, enjoy it, but plan for it for the rest of the other meals. That if you know that that's going to be a heavy point meal, plan for it on your other meals. Eat what you love. If occasionally you want that candy bar, or you want that ice cream, or you want that piece of pie or that piece of cake, have it. Plan it into your meals. Plan it into your points. Don't feel any guilt about it, and then move on. Now, you can't do that every single day of the week. You're kind of defeating the purpose of eating healthy. But you can occasionally do that, and you're not depriving yourself. If you're going to a party, or you're going tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, I know a lot of people are going to be going out tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day. Plan it accordingly. Have some rollover points for today. Use your weeklies tomorrow, and then stay at 0 points before you go out to eat, and then you can kind of justify what you're going to do. And available foods means if it's in your house ready for you to grab, you're going to eat it. Same true if you have something bad in your house, you're going to grab it. try to have things prepped in the refrigerator that are easy to grab, you know, some vegetable sticks or vegetable, you know, fruit, vegetables, anything like that. Pretzel rods are a good snack. They're only 1 point for a pretzel rod. And one pretzel rod, if you eat it slow enough, can be pretty satisfying. Those little Jolly Time popcorns, the little mini bags, got to make sure which Jolly Time you get. I think it's the Healthy 101s, I think it's called. The bag is like 3 points, and it's a lot of popcorn. It really is. And L is for leftovers. Try to make like little meals with your leftovers and freeze them if you want. Make your own little frozen dinner. If you really liked it this tonight, you know, and you have leftovers because you made too much, make a special little plate and put it in the freezer and then pop it out and have it another day. So what you want to do is remember the 3 trinities of meal planning. And it's to plan, prep, and track. So you want to plan what you're going to eat. Try to prep it ahead of time so that you're going to have it easy for you to just grab. And then track it as you're eating it. Make sure that you know how many points it is and how many points you're having at each meal. Because you got to remember that lack of planning on your part will create a crisis. If you wake up, I have a general idea what I'm going to eat the next day. I don't plan for the week. I'm not one of these people that gets out a menu plan and figures that this, to me that's too much like going to school and looking at your cafeteria list for the week and decide if this is the day you're going to buy a hot lunch or bring a lunch. Well, we never got to bring a lunch to school because, you know, growing up I didn't realize we were poor, but looking back I know we were poor, but you know, we weren't to the homeless or anything like that. We weren't lacking for anything. We got 3 meals a day. We had clean clothes. You know, we might not have had the best of everything, but we had good enough of everything. And you know what? I survived. I really did. And you know, there's so many people out there that are really, truly, truly poor. And we had so much love in our family that we had such an abundance of love. And we're such a close-knit family even to this day. And I think that the fact that we didn't have a lot of money to go spend on frivolous things, that it made us decide that we had to figure out ways within our family to have a good time that didn't cost any money. So I don't even know how I got started on that. Oh, for the hot lunches. Sometimes things come in my mind and I start babbling off and I go off on a trail and I think, oh my God, how do we get on this trail? We got to get back to the main trail. Okay, we're heading back. We're back to the main trail now. But anyway, if you create a menu, you kind of have an idea and you're not going to make poor choices. So you have to figure out, give yourself a scale of 1 to 10 and figure out how well you did. 1 means you didn't do good at all. You know, I needed to plan that one meal. And did the scale reflect it? And number 5, like which is right about in the middle, is you weren't really the best, but you weren't really the worst. I would put myself in that category. I wasn't really the best, but I really wasn't the worst. I could have done way worse than I did. And number 10 is I rocked it. I'll be honest, it's been a long time since I rocked it. I did at the beginning of this program, I rocked it. I really did, and I had really great losses. But for some reason, I just can't get myself back into that same mindset. Oh, I got an itchy nose, so I'm going to kiss a fool. But you need to remember that meal planning is the key for controlling hunger and staying on track. If you know that during Lent, I usually all year round, mostly just eat 2 meals a day. I've always in my whole life ate 2 meals a day. The difference being, even though I only ate 2 meals in a day, I did a lot of snacking in between. I ate a lot of chips and cookies and pretzels and Cheetos and things like that. But I've basically always only eaten 2 meals a day. I know that I'm going to eat my breakfast usually about 1 o'clock. It's not breakfast, I know, and it's not really lunch, I know that, and it's not brunch. They haven't come up for a name for it. But I usually eat my first meal of the day somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock. Now, I know that seems late for a lot of people, but you have to remember, I don't get up until about 9:30 in the morning because I don't go to bed till about 2 or 2:30 at night. That's just what I do. I always when I worked, I always had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I started work at 6. I'm a quick person in the morning, 15 minutes up in the shower, out the door. And so I always made it to work by 6 o'clock. So for years and years, I always had to get up at 5, which meant I went to bed like at 9, 10 o'clock. And it was boring. It was just boring for me. So now that I'm retired, I stay up till 2, 2:30, and I love it. And I get up about 9, 9:30. I go for my walk, which takes about 45 minutes. And so by the time I get home, it's about 11:30. And then I drink my water. I drink 34 ounces of water. Take my shower, get a little bit of house cleaning done. And then 1 to 2 o'clock is when I decide to eat my first meal. And then I always eat my dinner about 7. So I do plan that way. And it works for me. It really does. But there's a lot of benefits for meal planning. One of the things is it has a big impact on your health. Because if you're meal planning and you're getting the right things in your house, like the fruits and the vegetables and the lean meats and the healthy nuts, the healthy snacks, it only stands to reason it's going to be better for your body than having those Cheetos and Fritos and chips and things like that. It's just better all the way around. The second thing it's good for is your budget, because if you know what you're going to make and you stock your pantry, if you go to Costco or Sam's Club or any, big store place like that, and really stock up on all your main things, it seems like a lot when you're spending it that first time. But if you've stocked your pantry, I like to go just before the winter to stock my pantry. Where I live, a lot of times there's a lot of snow and you might not get out. And as long as my freezer and my pantry is stocked, I'm all set. Really, the only thing I need in my refrigerator is my milk, because I freeze so much. I freeze my cheeses, I freeze my milk, my butter, my meat, obviously, meals and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much stacked. And if you have all of that stuff at the beginning, then it's just easier to grab it. And especially if you buy it in bulk, it's cheaper in bulk. And don't buy something that you're never going to use. You're not saving money if you're buying something you're never going to use. But Jim and I eat a lot of peanut butter. So, you buy that in bulk. And it lasts a long time. There's so much preservatives and stuff, so it does last a long time. And if you know what you need to buy before you go, and you have all this stuff in your pantry and in the refrigerator, it's less trips to the store. And who can go to the store and know, like I'm going to the store to buy a loaf of bread, that actually walk in the store, buy a loaf of bread and leave? Nobody that I know. You'll get in there and you'll think, well, I might as well pick up some butter. Might as well pick up a gallon of milk. Oh, look at, there's a packet. Everybody picks up something extra. Whereas if your refrigerator and your freezer and your pantry is already stocked, you're less likely to go to the store. You might have that big purchase at the beginning, but in the long run, you're going to save money. If you make a list before you go in, it also saves on impulse buying. I need to follow this one. I go up and down all the aisle. Well, I don't really go up and down the aisles. I'm one of these weird shoppers. I'll stop at the aisle and I'll look down the aisle to see if there's something I want. I leave my cart on the end, and then I walk down the aisle and pick up what I need and carry it. Because if I can't carry it, then I don't really need it, is my thought. I know that's weird, but that's what I do. And then if you meal plan, and especially if you make a list to shop, you have a general idea every day what you're going to have to eat, and so you're not going to go out of your way to prepare some, go back to the store or have to run to the store or anything like that. And there's no guessing because you've got everything, like, oh, I got chicken in the freezer. The only guessing you have is, do I want the chicken, or do I want to have the soup that I made, or do I want to have a taco, or am I going to have some chili? Just, you can figure it out that way and you'll have it all. And you're using less convenient food, going to Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's. Think of how much you spend just getting I went to the Whoppers a couple weeks ago, and all I got was a cheese Whopper, fries, and a Coke, and I think it was almost $10. That's $10 that I could have spent on something better. It really is. $10 that I could have bought 3 pounds or 2 pounds at least of ground chuck, or ground sirloin rather. And we can't have the mentality of it's all or nothing. It can be all or something. Sometimes you just need that little something. And you can be all into this program, and you can be all into losing weight, and just know that I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it. I'm all in. But if you say all or nothing, that means that you're never going to stray off the path, and you're going to be too rigid, and you're not going to stick with it. Whereas if you have that occasional indulgence, snack, treat, you're going to feel better because you're still all into the program, but you're just you just need a little something. So these are the things that you need to do. Let's get down to basics now. This is the basic things that you need to do. You need to jot down your go-to goals, what you want to accomplish for the week as far as meal planning. Check out some different recipes. Go to the websites. There's so many websites that you can find. You know, Pillsbury has one, Crescent Rolls has one, and you can adjust them. You can tweak them to make them the way you want them, to make them low, low points. Create a meal planner. Even if you get like a little, I just have like this book here, which is I keep my notes in, but just like, you know what a journal looks like. I can't even get it open. Struggling. Why won't it open? There it goes. Even if you just pick up a notebook and just write it down in a notebook, you can figure out what you're going to have and you can plan accordingly. Figure out how many nights you're going to eat out. This one's directed at me. I know that because I tend to eat out at least once a week. I need to make better adjustments. You can choose healthy when you go out to eat. I need to do that too. I'm going to have to practice what I preach. Plan for your snacks. Figure out what snacks that you're going to have. Some snacks can add up. Nuts are a high point snack, but in the long run, they're a healthy fat, so they're beneficial for you. So just kind of figure it into your points. And every day have a general idea of the amount of points you'd like to spend. I get 23 points a day. I get 42 weeklies. So I like to plan and stay on like right around, I try to get around 20, 21 points. And then when I go out to eat, then use my weekly points. Okay, we're going to plan our meals this week, and we're going to do way better, I know. And I will have a better loss next week. Not that I had a loss this week, but I'm going to do better next week. Because I think that it was just a fluke. I didn't deserve it. I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm going to move on and just go from there. So I'm going to ask you right now to give this video a like. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I did want to point out that on Monday, Kelly from Freedom in a Budget is doing a collab about our 5 favorite Weight Watcher meals. And there's a whole bunch of people. So check out my video on Monday and see what my favorite meals are. I have 5 of them. I have more than 5, but I could limit it to 5. And then check out all the other videos, and I bet you'll get a lot of good ideas and different foods that you might not have ever thought of. And leave a comment and share it if you think somebody might like it. So I'll see you guys next Saturday, but you can always find me on my daily vlog. Okay, I'll be honest with you, this is not a recipe I can say with 100% certainty, I will not be trying. I do not like salmon. I have bad memories of salmon growing up. My mother made the worst salmon patties. And I know everybody says, well, you know what, that's the salmon from the old days. It's different now. Oh, it's still salmon. I just can't bring myself to try it, and I know people tell me I would like it if I tried it, but I don't think so. And then here's the card telling you how to plan your meals. I don't know if online people can get this. I'm thinking you should be able to, but I don't have a problem filming it just in case. And that is what it's telling you to do.